I ask everyone the same questions, and the first question I always ask is, why are you running for Congress?
I'm running for Congress because I think that the voters of Illinois deserve a fresh, clear alternative. Everywhere I go, members in the district are telling me they're just fed up with politics as usual. And I feel that I've had a life of trust and service and activism, and it's important to stand up and make a difference for our issues.
What in your background qualifies you to be a member of Congress?
I'm probably the only person running for this office that, one, has no ties with Illinois politics, but also has worked on a national level. I've got the life skills and the experience on a national level to be effective in Congress from day one. I was trusted and I learned about service and duty as a pilot in the Navy and as a mission commander in the Strategic Communications Network. I saw firsthand the war plans that made me realize there has to be a better way. We need to put the emphasis back on diplomacy and building relationships. As an airline pilot, I was trusted by thousands of passengers every year, and I was trusted to make tough decisions under pressure. As a veterans and a labor activist for the last 15 to 20 years, I have worked to make working women, men and women, make their lives better. I think we've all seen firsthand that when working men and women do well, America does well. That's where the focus should be.
So what is the most important issues that we face today?
I think obviously the economy. We have many serious issues. But when I go around the district and I talk to people, this number one story I hear over and over again is of good working men and women, many immigrants in this district, but they've worked for almost 15, 20 years, and they've been paying their houses, they've been moving forward, but they just cannot find work. They haven't worked in a year. They've run through their life savings. They're actually on the brink of losing their homes. Banks that happily took the TARP funds are not making any adjustments whatsoever. We have got to stop the foreclosure crisis, keep people in their homes, and get people back to work.
What is your vision? Is there a specific issue that you want to champion in Congress?
Well, immediately, I think one of the most important things we can do is, and something that can be adjusted within a week if we get the political will, we can adjust bankruptcy and foreclosure laws to allow judges to modify primary home loans. We can take a breather in the home foreclosure crisis, and that will allow stimulus to work and start getting people back to work so that they can start paying their mortgages and moving forward. A little bit longer term, as an infrastructure policy person, I would really like to see we catch up on a national level. We've not had a national infrastructure policy since Eisenhower in the 50s. Our ports are 50 years behind China. Our airspace can be 20 years behind Europe in as many cases. And if we're going to be spending a lot of stimulus, which we know we need to do to get people back to work, let's at least give the American people something to show for their hard-earned dollars.
So what do you think Congress can do to help the economy?
Well, again, immediately hold people in their homes and stop this foreclosure panic. 2, we need some immediate short-term stimulus spending to just get people back to work. And 3, we need a long-term project, infrastructure, and taking us to a green economy, ending our dependence on foreign oil with good, well-paying, sustainable jobs for the long haul.
Are you for or against single-payer health care, and why?
Well, I'm absolutely for the long-term goal of single-payer health care. What I am, though, is my life experience as a pilot, as a working mother of 6. I'm pragmatic. I've learned to build from consensus to be able to step forward where we can. I really am worried about squandering this national will we have. We have a national consensus to at least insure everyone now. I believe within a year we can at least provide everyone with a basket of regulated and decent health care options. And then that is an immediate step forward and improvement for our society as we work towards our long-term goals. Always work from the consensus we have to get things done today.
There you go. What can Congress do to put us on the right path to stop the damage from climate change?
Well, a lot of experts say that we may already be too late. I think that we can't ever get a defeatist attitude like that. We need to step forward, do as much as we can today. I think, and I agree with President Obama's stated plan, to give us a national project, just like we decided to go to the moon. I am positive that if we put our creativity and our ingenuity together, we can pull and create within 10 years. We can be energy independent and certainly end our dependence on foreign oil.
So how should Congress change the Patriot Act?
Well, as a military veteran and someone who actually swore an oath to defend our Constitution, I am committed to upholding the Constitution as it stands. I firmly believe that we need to repeal the Patriot Act as opposed to tinkering with it and trying to adjust provisions which I believe are unconstitutional. We should not have warrantless wiretapping of Americans. We have perfectly good procedures that have worked well for decades in place. We don't need that. We don't need to infringe on our civil liberties. Repeal the Patriot Act.
What would you like to accomplish in your first term? Name something specific that you will do.
First term, obviously, immediately stop the foreclosure crisis. I think that is for the average working men and women. And as a veteran and someone that veterans issues are very near and dear to me, I've been endorsed by two of the largest national veterans groups and by a list of military heroes, basically because they know my heart. They know that I will not stop working until we provide the needed support services for our vets, and that includes the Vietnam-era generation that are now starting to see declines as they approach their senior years, and also the new generation of Iraq and Afghani vets. And I also want to take a strong stand against sexual assault and for women's rights in the military. As a female military service member, that's critically important to me.
Will you caucus with any group? If so, with whom?
I absolutely, agree that even in my own life, I agree in diplomacy and open dialogue. But I am determined. I want to be on that progressive caucus. And then I've also received an invite to be on the Italian-American caucus as well.
That makes sense. What committees would you prefer to chair?
My clear choice, and we don't always have 100% say, but my clear choice is transportation and infrastructure. And I think with my background as a pilot and an aviation infrastructure specialist, I think I'm a natural there. In particular with this district, with O'Hare bordering the district. Also, Illinois is #1 for freight. For example, it takes 2 days for a multimodal container to get here from the Port of Los Angeles, and it takes 2 days to cross Chicagoland. That's an immediate revenue booster for us if we get that needed infrastructure. And then also veterans. I definitely think we need more veterans on the Veterans Committee. We know what we need, and as an aside, I think that veterans in Congress is a positive way to put a new face on progressive politics. I think veterans totally take off the table the charge that's sometimes laid at us that we're soft on defense.
Right, great. What kind of response have you been getting from voters?
You know, it's absolutely been incredible. It's been so exciting to see. When I first talk to voters, their #1 question is, are you a politician?
All right.
Voters in Illinois are so disgusted and turned off, and they initially say, I don't want to vote, I don't want to hear about it. And then I say, I'm not a politician. I'm a pilot. I'm a veteran. Let me talk to you about why I'm running and the difference that we can make. We are now growing by leaps and bounds, the enthusiasm, the message. We've been to forums, we've been knocking on doors. This entire campaign has been about, voter contact and talking to voters, and I absolutely know that they're excited about what we're about.
That's great. So what else should people know about you that they don't already know?
Well, I guess probably that I'm an absolute pushover for rescue animals. I happen to have a very large rescue dog, and we're not quite sure what he is, but we think he's a Husky Shepherd, and I have a FIV rescue animal cat named Tony. Both of those animals are the light of my lives next to my 6 kids.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.